What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? Showing you the S&S Serpentarium, and today I'm just going to go through with you real quick about the mistakes I made with blood pythons. Before we get into it, guys, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe and smash the like button and destroy that notifications bell so you're updated whenever I make a new video. I make videos often, daily at the moment, so just make sure you stay tuned in if you like your snakes. Getting right into it then, guys. Chilling with my 4Gene ball python here. She's obviously not a blood python. Yeah, the mistakes I made. So the story with my blood python is I wanted a blood python for a long time. Everyone online was telling me that, oh, you know, they get a bad rap and so on and so forth. You know, you can tame them out and stuff like that. And I thought, alright, fine. It's a snake I really like the size of, the chunkiness, the build. I think they're really gorgeous snakes. So I was looking around for a good while, and I came across someone that was rehoming his, and I always like to buy rehomes where I can to give them a good home. But in hindsight, I wish I hadn't. It's certainly not something I'm going to be doing anymore. And that's just personal preference, really. But anyway, getting into it. So, he was up Doncaster at the reptile show. So I asked my friend that was going up there, could she actually pick it up for me? She said yes. So brilliant. She picked this snake up for me. She said when she got there, the guy was less than interested. Right, he wouldn't even look at her. He just went, yeah, there's the snake, sort of chucked it around in this sort of tub. Was really less than interested. So that was sort of a bit of a red flag to me. So she phoned me up, told me about it. I was like, look, just bring it home now. I've already paid for the snake. If that's his attitude, then that's his problem, and I'm just gonna take, you know, the best care of the snake as I can. So she brought it back to me. She said she checked it out for mites. There was no sign of mites. I checked it out for a respiratory infection. No sign of a respiratory infection. So I chucked it in my quarantine room. I say chuck, or I didn't literally chuck it. I put it in my quarantine room. It was there for 6 weeks, just to make sure everything was pucker because of the seller's attitude. And obviously, you know, at Doncaster shows and stuff, there can sometimes be mites that jump off people's clothes and stuff. So I wanted to be safe. So I didn't handle it over that 6 weeks. That 6 weeks time. I wanted to leave it set. I did feed it. It was feeding great. No signs of any health issues at all. So pucker, great. As time goes on, then I start to handle it. And then what was happening then? I was handling it, and it was just getting more and more feisty every time I got it out initially. So I tape it back down on it, and then I'd start handling it again, and it'd calm back down. So I thought, great, alright, this is the amount I'm gonna handle it. So I kept feeding it, kept handling it, and then eventually what was happening is that snake had decided that to stop me from handling it, what it was going to do is every time I came in the room, it was going to do this massive threat display and start smashing into the side of the enclosure. So that obviously isn't good for the snake. That really did concern me. I tried for months and months to get it out of doing that behaviour. I couldn't do it. And at that point, because it was getting so big and so strong, I was really concerned that the snake, one day, I was going to go in there and it would have broke its own neck on the glass. So I didn't want that to happen, guys. That would have really upset me. I would have been in absolute tears. Such a fabulous snake. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have to rehome this animal. I don't want to walk in here one day and you know, find a dead blood python, or, you know, just because it was unhappy in its living conditions. It had 3 or 4 hides in there. Hotspot was 88 degrees, the ambient temperature was 80 degrees, and it had a big section in the middle, which was the majority of the tank then, that was 85 degrees. Really small hotspot, because these are big lazy snakes and they don't like to move that much. And that's what other breeders had told me at the time, is just try to keep it all one temperature, but I did want to give it a small hot spot and a small cool end just in case. So that's what I did. 3 or 4 hides, well, 3 and some like bushes and stuff like that, if that makes any sense. So 3 hides and a bush to hide under. So it, you know, it was felt secure and stuff like that. It just had a real problem with me handling it. So even when I stopped handling then, because I figured out that's why I was doing it, it continued that behaviour. So I eventually asked the local shop. They're really knowledgeable down there. I said, look, can you make me an offer for this blood python? And they said, yeah, you know, we'll give you a couple of quid for it. It was much less than what I paid for it, but I said, look, as long as you can promise you find it a good home, I'm happy enough. It is pretty tame once you get it out. It just, you know, does that thing against the glass of the tank a lot. So I took it down, and they had it, and it's now been rehomed. I don't know whether that problem continued or not when they were in the shop. They've not actually said anything to me about it, but hopefully it's happy as Larry now. So the mistake I really made there was to not get in it either a tame adult or a baby. That's the real mistake I made there in that little story. If you are going to go for a blood python, 1000% go for a baby. Babies are actually more available than the adults anyway. Or if you're going to go for an adult, make sure that it's tame and you handle it first, and it doesn't have that problem where it's smashing up against the glass. I've actually never heard of a blood python doing that before, but it was like a defensive sort of behaviour. I've heard of retics doing it before, and I've actually heard of retics dying from doing that before, but I haven't heard of blood pythons doing it. So that is something to bear in mind. If you want a tame blood python, buy it from a baby, work with it often, don't stress it out, and then you'll be golden with a nice tame blood python. And don't keep it too warm, because that can actually agitate it a lot and make it very angry. So that's just something to bear in mind. So I hope you've really enjoyed this this video, guys, and this sort of little story segment of for change. Yeah, it makes a little bit of a change. If you like this sort of style, let me know in the comments below, and maybe I can think of some other snake stories to tell you. Yeah, so I've enjoyed making the videos as always, guys. I'm hoping to record quite a few videos each day now before I go back to uni, so then I can keep, you know, uploading content for everyone. Because some people are really enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying making the videos myself. So I'm just going to keep it coming for the time being. Let me know as well, guys, down in the comments if you've actually got a blood python or a similar story with a blood python where it's banging up against the cage, or any snake really banging up against the cage. I think I was in the right to actually sell that snake. I think I did the best for the snake and the best for me. Maybe in the future I will get a blood python, but for now I'm not going to be getting a blood python for a little spell, to be honest with you. I'm just going to hold off on it until I'm absolutely sure that I am ready and I found a really good solid breeder that produces nice tame blood pythons. Maybe I'll go for a nice fancy morph then, who knows. She's just wrapping round, bless her. But for now I'm happy with the Royals the royals, the spotteds, and the warmer pythons that I've got python wise. I've got plenty of snakes on my wish list, so there's no need for me to rush in and go for another blood python. But anyway, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video as always, guys. Make sure you drop us a like, smash that subscribe button, ruin that notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.